Today I'm going to be discussing frequently asked questions about the British Virgin Islands. The number one question is how to get here. It's never easy to get here. It usually takes all day. But things might be getting a little easier in the future, so let me go through your options. From the US, you can fly to Puerto Rico, SJU, and from Puerto Rico you can take a smaller plane to Beef Island, which is BIS. The airlines that fly from Puerto Rico to Beef Island are Silver, Cape Air, and Inter-Caribbean Airlines. Other than that, there are charters that you can hire. Lots of planes fly from US to Puerto Rico, so that's usually not a problem. The second way to get here is to fly from the US to St. Thomas, STT. Again, every airline flies to St. Thomas. Once you're at St. Thomas, you take a taxi from the airport to the ferry dock, and then you take a ferry from Charlotte Amalie, which is the center of St. Thomas, to Road Town. The ferry is about an hour, and there are several ferry companies that are scheduled, but they are not scheduled every day, and they're not as scheduled at the same time every day. So you have to check the ferry schedule for the day you're coming and going. So you have the expense of a taxi ride from the airport to the ferry dock, and then the cost of the ferry itself. Since COVID, private taxis from St. Thomas to Tortola have been very common. There are a lot of companies now that are doing that. You can go on Facebook and search. There's a whole bunch that do that, but I know it's expensive. The good news is that American Airlines has announced that they are doing a direct flight from Miami to Beef Island starting in June this year. June 2023. And that'll be great. We've been hearing about direct flights for a long time, so everybody is kind of waiting and seeing if it's really true or not. I do know that the flight is only operating like June, July, and then it's not running in August, September, October because of hurricane season. And then I don't know really, I think it starts up in November again, but I'm not 100% sure. So you need to check the flights. And again, it's expensive, but hopefully in the future the prices will come down as more people know about it and it becomes more popular. There's only one flight a day coming here and one flight a day going back to Miami. So fingers crossed that happens, because that will cut out a tremendous amount of travel time, because you can sit at the Puerto Rico airport for quite a few hours, and you can sit at the ferry dock for quite a few hours if you don't plan well. So the other options are always private charter airplanes from St. Thomas or from Puerto Rico. Again, very expensive. So that's how you get here. Hurricane season is July, August, September, October, and ends beginning of November. So I don't recommend coming in September. We have been here in September, and sometimes it's fine. Sometimes there's like little hurricanes that go by, not close, but it's not worth risking your vacation for that. August is festival here. The first week in August is festival. It's interesting to go to festival, but a lot of places are closed, and it's a big party for like 10 days. During hurricane season, a lot of places are closed. A lot of the outer islands are closed, and a lot of restaurants are closed. So usually they close like mid-August through September, and they open sometime in October. That's usually what it is. So you got to plan accordingly. If you run a really quiet vacation and just want to like chill and cook for yourself and do a little sightseeing, it's perfect. But to go to the out islands, everybody wants to go to the out islands. So it's better to come off of hurricane season. Lambert Beach is a Wyndham resort down there. If you rent at Pretty View, you have access to that pool, and the restaurant is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can go to the beach. Usually there aren't hardly any people at the beach. During the winter, that ocean can be quite rough, and there are no lifeguards here, so you have to be very careful in the winter. In the summer, it's like a pond, and it's very different than what it looks like today. There's also now a gift shop down at the resort. It's very cute, worth checking out. You will need a rental car. It's just to see the island and to see other things. It's, you know, we are not near any grocery stores here at Lambert. The only restaurant that's within walking distance is the Turtles restaurant down at Lambert. So whether you come in at the airport or at the ferry dock, you can arrange to have a rental car meet you there. And I have all that information when you book. Driving here can be a little intimidating. They drive on the left. The roads are not good. There's a lot of potholes. People stop in front of you for no reason, just to talk to somebody, just to stop and text somebody. They stop for any kind of reason in front of you. There's also goats, cows, rocks, all kinds of things in the road. So it's challenging, but it's fun and it's an adventure. So I highly recommend it. You'll get used to it after the first day. This is not a scooter island. I've had people who wanted to come here and rent scooters. No, don't do that. It's very dangerous. There are a lot of scooter riders here, and they scare you when you are driving because they drive like crazy. They drive like lunatics here. So, no, do not do not even think about renting a scooter. They take credit cards everywhere here. The only thing you really need cash for is if you're sailing and on a mooring wall, you need cash for that. If you're using the Bodie Ball, they take credit cards online. But most every place here takes credit cards, so you don't need that much cash. But there are ATMs downtown if you need to get more money. Electric is the same as US. You don't need an adapter or anything, it's the same. Internet is hit and miss. Some restaurants have it, some don't. At the villa we have internet, unlimited internet, so you can stream. We have Netflix and Roku, and if you have an Amazon account, you can log on to Amazon and watch movies. We have all of that. Plus now we have a little bit of cable. Don't get a lot of channels, but we do get news channels and weather channels and a few miscellaneous channels. So there's something there. But the Roku is, you can, you know, add different channels to that if you would like. Pretty View Villa has beach chairs, coolers, beach towels for the beach. There are a lot of beaches to go and explore, but I personally think that Lambert is one of the best, and one where you won't see a lot of people as compared to some other beaches. We do get cruise ships here, sometimes 2 or 3 at a time. Can get really busy at certain places at certain times, so you need to keep that in mind too. But usually it's not a problem because they're on a schedule and they have to be, you know, moving along, as they say. Pretty View is a very good base if you are not on a boat, because from Pretty View you can drive to Trellis Bay, which is about 10 minutes from here, and at Trellis Bay you can get a ferry to Scrub Island or to Virgin Gorda. From the marina next to Nanny Key, you can get a ferry to Norman Island, and from West End you can get a ferry to Joost Van Dyke. So without being on a sailboat, you can get to a lot of places just by ferry. You can also rent a runabout. We highly recommend Island Times. You can rent a boat for a day, and depending on which way the wind blows, you can go to Cooper or up to North Sound even if the weather's good. You can also go on, there's a lot of different day charters that go to different snorkel places and different islands, and I can get you that information if you want to go on a trip like that. There's lots of things to do here. There's lots of things to do even on Tortola. I recommend going to the Her Majesty's Old Prison down on Main Street in Roetown, and the Callowwood Rum Distillery over at King Garden Bay. It's also worth going to Sage Mountain for a hike, and Nanny Key just to go down to the beach bar for drinks and hang out by the ocean. That's really nice too. You can go to Long Bay on the West End to their resort. They have a really nice bar on the ocean down there. I haven't eaten in the restaurant down there, but it should be pretty high end. It's a pretty high end resort down there. There are a lot of restaurants within easy driving distance of Pretty View. There's several down toward Trellis Bay, and you have Red Rock and Brandywine, Lambert. So you have lots of choices without having to go down to Roetown or West End. The West End does seem to have a lot of the higher end restaurants that sometimes are worth going for a drive. If you don't want to go out, of course, you could always cook at Pretty View, because we have a very well equipped kitchen, and the grocery stores here are very well stocked. In fact, on East End we have 3 grocery stores to choose from. We have Rightway East End, we have a One Mart, and we have Fine Foods. And between the 3, you probably can find everything. The big store, Rightway downtown, has like everything. The only thing is food is very expensive here, way more than the U.S. And even though U.S. has very high prices, it's even worse here. So be prepared for that. It's been a little shocking sometimes when we go to the grocery store how much the groceries are costing here, but it's a small price to pay for staying in paradise. So I'll just wrap this up now, and hope you book with us. Pretty View Villa, vacation rental by owner 323-657, and check us out. We hope to see you soon.